What's up, everybody? This is Eric with Fair to Stop Podcast. Just breaking down some fan mail really quick. This is a question that comes from Micah, all about speeding cops. He says, Eric, I was driving through Delaware and a state trooper blew past me, probably going 100 miles an hour, weaving in and out of traffic with no lights and sirens. What's up with that? Let's break it down. I always like to start with perception isn't reality. Well, what does that mean? Let me tell you a quick story. One morning I was headed to Starbucks on duty and it was about 6:15 in the morning and a bank alarm went off. We all know at 6:15, a bank alarm, more likely than not, is probably just some asshole who forgot the key code to the alarm, didn't set it right, and it went off. Well, just so happens that our policy in the department was that if a bank alarm went off, every police officer in the city had to go towards that bank alarm until told otherwise. Why? Because there was a lot of bank robberies happening in our area at that time. And what better way to thwart crime than to send every fucking cop in that direction and flood the area with police cars, lights, and sirens? That would deter any criminal. So that's exactly what was going on. Now, I was traveling to Starbucks. I got the call. I had to pass the Starbucks to go to the next U-turn to go northbound towards the call. I passed the Starbucks in the southbound lane with my lights and sirens on, went to the next U-turn, did my U-turn to head northbound. And as about time I did the U-turn, I got a call on the radio that said, all units going to the bank robbery. You can 1022, just a wrong key code, all safe and secure. Enjoy your morning. Turned my lights and sirens off, pulled into the Starbucks, just as a man got out of his car and said, you there? Citizen's arrest. I caught you. And he had his cell phone out, videoing all 15 of his friends on Facebook. And he said, you were using your lights and sirens just to go get coffee. I knew in that moment there was nothing I could say to change this guy's perception about me. So I pulled out my notepad. I gave him my name. I gave him my badge number, gave him my car number, and I gave him the number to Internal Affairs, which he then made a proper complaint. There was an audit done. Come to find out, I did nothing wrong. That I was doing exactly what I was trained and what I was told by policy to do. Let's talk about your particular instance with a weaving cop on a highway going way too fast. Now, there is a chance that it's just human nature. I was driving to Florida the other day. Cars were blowing past me. Everybody was speeding. I wasn't, but everybody else was. So it looks like it's just kind of human nature. People fucking speed. Maybe this cop was just speeding, being a hypocrite. But maybe there was another scenario. I'll tell you this really quick. Sometimes it is actually safer on the highway or a long stretch of road to not use your lights and sirens. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Let me explain it to you. If we're on a highway and we're following the natural flow of traffic and everybody's already going fast and we've been on that road for 5 minutes, we already see what everybody else is doing. We kind of see the natural flow of traffic and what everybody's kind of natural behaviors are. If I were to turn on my lights and sirens to run to a hot call, it is going to change everybody's behaviors. And there is no longer a natural flow of traffic that I can then weave in and out of. So if there's a natural flow, I can go ahead and safely kind of assume what people are going to do. I can anticipate their maneuvers and their movements, and I can weave in and out of that traffic to get to where I'm going. What is a hot call? A hot call would be domestic violence situation, bank robbery, home invasion, something we need to get to quickly. If I turn on all my lights and sirens, people might veer to the right, they might veer to the left, they might slam on their brakes. I've lost that natural flow of traffic. So it actually might be safer for me to just weave in and out of the traffic to get to where I'm going, less chance of accidents, things like that. Now, let me give you one more quick story before we go. I was actually driving down a highway one day. I was about 15 miles from a gas station. An Amber Alert went out that a Hispanic female about the age of 13 was shoved into the back of a white Honda Civic. They didn't say it was the back seat. They didn't say it was the trunk. I was about 15 miles away. So I posted up and I drove as fast as I could to the next exit to get off, to get into the right flow of traffic so that I could circle back around to the stretch of highway that this white Honda Civic could potentially be driving down. And so I didn't turn on my lights and sirens and cause chaos and just drive in circles for the next 30 minutes. But no, I weaved in and out of traffic trying to write down the license plate number to every white Honda Civic that I could and look in the back seat of every white Honda Civic that I could to see if there was a Hispanic female that was, frantic or trying to get out of the back of a vehicle. So maybe that was the case for this guy. Maybe he was trying to find a car. Maybe he was trying to find an Amber Alert. We don't know. Perception isn't always reality. But if you ever have a question, you can always write down the vehicle number of that car and call it into local authorities, and they will audit that vehicle. How you do that is there's a license plate. Below the license plate on the left or rear quarter panel is usually a 2 to 3 digit number, and that's going to be the vehicle number. Go ahead and take that vehicle number, call 911 if you have to, or the non-emergency number and say, hey, I'm going down such and such highway. Vehicle number 156 just passed by me at a high rate of speed, no lights and no sirens. And I would like that to be audited. I'd like to know what that officer is doing. They're going to report that up to Internal Affairs, and more times than not, they're going to do an investigation. And if he was speeding, he will get a ticket. And if not, You'll never hear anything else about it. But there you go. Hope that answers your question, Micah. Join us every Tuesday night and every Friday morning on the Fair to Stop YouTube channel live as we break down major cases each week. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, guns up, giddy up.